This is the craziest audience.
These are my people.
And we're back. So I just want to get the elephant out of the room. You've had some trials and tribulations on the first leg of this Big Easy cruise. Do you want to share what happened? I heard a little bit about a passport, some luggage. What happened?
I had a gig at Boca Raton the night before we left, or 2 nights before. So they broke, JetBlue accidentally broke the guitar. So we started the gig by chasing guitars. Then I got to the hotel on Friday, checking in, put my passport and my wallet on the counter at the front desk. Someone stole it. And so we started shaky. And, you know, in stress, usually I go, okay, I'm cool. Then they managed to get us on board. At 7 a.m., got the call that they will accept me. They will bring me on. I didn't have to go back to New Orleans and look for a passport and start over on Tuesday. So I was really happy about that. Then I get to my room. It was the wrong room. That's when I lost it. This is unacceptable.
Well, we're so happy that you're here with us now. I think it's
Yes.
one of those moments where you say, I'm supposed to be here doing this.
Yeah.
So I've been reading about you. I've heard your music. I like to go deep into the story. I like to know, how does everybody find their way to soul music? And you, by way of Sweden, I saw something about some African drumming as well. So what is your musical journey?
The musical journey was at age of 8. So I was born in Sweden, came to New Orleans at 17. But when I first started out, I was 8 years old, and my mom and dad had a pump organ in their bedroom. And the first time I tried it out, I started to write small melodies that was making me emotional. And I told my mom, I think I like whatever that is. I'd like to continue to do more of that. And she goes, that's music. She said, yeah, that's what I want to do. And so I explored it and then started guitar and drums, stuff like that. And then eventually I ended up getting into, I was into Kiss, Sweet, Black Sabbath, Donna Summer,
It's kind of a huge leap.
Amy Stewart, Knock on Wood, 1977. It was the shit. Excuse my
You were
language.
already creating a gumbo of music in your, in your spirit.
I loved it. And then Bob Marley, and I think Bob in 77, 78, I think. I was fairly young. And that was kind of the shift. And then from there, it went into Joni Mitchell, Bob Dylan, John Coltrane, Miles Davis, Neil Young eventually, a lot of James Taylor, and just singer-songwriter of the 70s, I think. That's what got me going. Van Morrison, of course. And then eventually, as I landed in New Orleans, there was a whole other thing happening, which was in the moment, not a show, not a performance, just playing music for the sake of playing music, which is more like folk music around the world. If you go to the Appalachians or even the Nordic, Scandinavian stuff, they just play for the sake of playing. If there's a wedding, party, whatever. So you play, right? And that really transcended a lot of things for me, where you just play.
It's interesting. I'm hearing a lot of storytellers in your background, storytellers that are singers, storytellers through the music. And when I listen to your music, it's, for me, just kind of profound how in this world of rock and soul and blues that you have this distinct voice. Do you bring your personal stories to your music?
Yes.
We have time for half of one.
Yeah. No, I think, I mean, each little phase of your life, you start out mimicking other artists, because that's how you learn, right? And you stand on the shoulders of other people. But as you go through tribulations and joys, you start to add to your own vocabulary and just how to express yourself. And I think in my 30s, it started. I had enough of a life that I started to understand that what I have gone through and how I speak, my inflections, my accent, my whatever it is that I sound like, should be in the songs. It shouldn't be a songwriter song. It should be an Anders song. So I made a switch there, and it was probably around 97, 98, where it really started for me to be a conscious effort to stay true to who I am.
So, do you think that it was this simultaneous life imitating art, art imitating life? Because
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of musicians and singers are called to sing, but not everybody is maybe just chosen to maybe tell that story, and that you found is profound.
Interesting. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I was called to sing, but when I sing the right song and it resonates in the heart area, everything changes. I believe what I'm saying, and most of the time, my music is my favorite music. And the older I get, the more that becomes my favorite because it's what comes through me, right? And then inspiration, obviously, there's so many unbelievable musical artists and performers. Sometimes I'm impressed by a performance, their skills, and sometimes by the raw artist, transcendent, ability that someone has. And I think I veered off the question.
No, I think you veered right into it.
All right.
So let's stay on inspiration. What artists, what musical sounds currently are inspiring you?
I think it's whew. That's a hard one because it's more relationships and feelings I have about the world than music itself. I listen to a lot of just blue note jazz. I always have. Music with no words is my favorite, or a very melancholy kind of tone is my favorite. Yeah. But I would say, I mean, I listen to Claudio Villa, cheesy Italian stuff a lot. In the modern world, I think it's usually what I'm working on. If I'm with Honey Island, Swamp Band, then that's my favorite music. If I work with Mike Zito, whoever I'm working with becomes who I listen to, not so much outside stuff. When you do it for a living too, as you know probably, you get a little bit, it's not jaded, it's just you know too much about the small details and the nuances, so you can hear other things rather than the total experience of just how beautiful the music is. Mm-hmm. So I have to go outside my singer-songwriter world to understand things. Oh, I did realize, I just ran into a young guy named Ken Hayes or something from Canada.
Okay.
He has almost no followers, so look him up. I'll find the name exactly. Ken.
Did you run into him in the
No,
airport?
no, it was a friend of mine that suggested him. I checked him out. Very, very sad music, singer-songwriter. It's great.
Oh, my God.
He's beautiful. He looks sad, too. He's great. Yeah.
He has that look.
Yeah, he's definitely like...
Isn't that amazing? Some
yeah.
people just have that look.
Yeah,
like
he
you
looks
know what's
great
coming.
for it. He's like brown hair, not dark, not blonde, just brown.
The second album, he'll get the gold tips, right?
Yes,
nice blazer.
little bit, yeah.
Yeah, got a little bit of money.
Ordinary ordinary clothes. Anyway, moving on.
Talk to me about composition. Do you have a specific instrument that you usually compose or write your songs on, or is it sort of maybe justified, or does it start with the feeling?
Yeah, most of the time I have a J45, a 63 Gibson that's become kind of the writing. But I have, embarrassingly, I have way too many guitars.
How embarrassing.
Well, because it shows greediness. I don't like that side of myself. But I think over the years you collect and you make friends, just like having a friend group. And I have something called Guitar Karma.
Your guitar friend group.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a guitar friend group. But I also have Guitar Karma. So I try to always think of someone else and the guitars I have or that I see. Sometimes I buy it and give it to someone. I'll give you an example. I saw a guitar. We lived on Decatur Street in New Orleans by the Mint, 1307. And below us, there was a pawn shop or like an antique store. And they had this old Gibson from the late 40s, like a jazz swing guitar, 125 or whatever they're called. I didn't need a guitar, but I had this feeling that someone might need it. So I bought it. The next day, I found out Dave Malone had lost all his guitars. So I gave him the guitar. So that karma has helped me. So when people steal my stuff or if I lose it, someone always gives it back to me. So it's just stayed in a loop for about 25 years. Yeah.
I like Anders. You're so intentional. It's just wonderful how intentional you are with your music and with life and how you just put it all together.
Oh, bless you.
Okay, so I want to know. I'm going to just like fan out a little bit and maybe you can fan out with me.
Yeah.
Who are some of the artists that you've worked with that you're just like, I can't believe I'm working with this artist, like I've looked up to them. Like, do you have any of those stories?
Yes.
Can you tell us one?
Yeah, Toots and the Maytals. When
Oh my God.
I was asked to join that tour, and first I was like, this got to be, did they call the right guy? So apparently, the Toots' old manager, Mike, anyway, was a longtime fan. He introduced me to Toots, and it was on a boat called Jam Cruise. And we got on and we jammed, and Toots said, yeah, get him on. So we did 3-4 weeks together. We did a couple of tours. And that was one of those that you're standing on stage, and it's exactly like you hope it would be.
Really?
It's his voice is like, it's unbelievable. It just you just fall into this space of greatness. You don't have to do anything. Just stay out of the way.
I have chills.
Yeah, Toots was phenomenal.
Do you feel like that was like a university class playing with someone that you
Oh, yeah.
looked up? Like, do you feel like we walked off that stage or off that tour a much better musician than
Oh,
you're
yeah.
already great?
Yeah, playing less. I definitely learned that there were things I needed to do to find my parts, to arrange and compose a guitar part that is supposed to be very specific. His son, the bass player, would show me, but with a smile, very Jamaican, sweet approach, you know. And he's like, and just go, and I go, oh, I think I know what he wants me to do. So I laid into that, and all of a sudden, whoa, the whole world opened up a pocket. And so I learned a lot, yeah.
So can I just share something with you because you're sharing so much? I'm Jamaican.
Woo!
Does it? So when you said that, we know that. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Just,
More bees with the honey.
Yeah.
But it has to get done.
it has to get done. That's perfect.
So what has your experience been on the Big Easy Cruise? Not to put you on the spot, but
No.
I know you've done Jam Cruise and a bunch of cruises. For me, this feels really like family. Like it feels like just a mixture of the old and the young and all of these people that work together. What has your experience been playing for these Big Easy Cruisers?
Well, it's been uncomfortable. It's been awkward.
Making you nervous?
Nervous. I don't know if they're into it.
That means the next show, y'all need to make a lot of noise.
No. This has been my favorite. I've done probably 5 before, and by far, this is by far my favorite. I already said yes to next time, so I love it. You guys were awesome.
You heard it here first.
Yes. This was a whole different level of friendship and family. This was amazing. Yeah. Yeah.
Chef Kevin.
Kevin was surreal. Yeah.
Phenomenal. Round of applause. Yes.
Little Feet, come on.
Oh my goodness, Little Feet.
That's another one I forgot to tell you.
Tell me.
Yeah, I first got sober in 2009, and my friend Stevie came backstage at the Bayou Boogaloo up in Norfolk, which is a place. This is right outside the area where, pretty close to where Lowell had his, where he died. I've OD'd in that town. There's been a lot of bad memories, and I was fresh out of rehab, and Stevie comes in, and Paul, and Stevie says, hey, the boys want you to sit in. And I've known Little Feat for a couple of decades at that point, and they've never asked me to sit in because I was a mess. And I got up on that stage, and that was I'm getting emotional on that. I was crying, just tearing up, playing with my heroes. It was fantastic.
What a wonderful journey. Thank you so much for sharing.
Yeah.
Don't you love music?
Yes,
Music is
I
so
do.
healing.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, I always say, for musicians that can't afford therapy, being a great musician, can sometimes help that process.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's the big healer.
Yes,
So what are
indeed.
you working on now? What projects? What music?
I have a new record. It came out at Tipitina's Vinyl Club, but we're going to do a re-release, renamed it, and it's coming out in April. So it's going to be a bigger company pushing it a little bit and see if we can get some action. I have another record in the can that's called The Gates of Hades, which is Matt Booth on upright and Brad Walker on saxophone.
Yes.
We recorded it with Mark Howard, you know, that did all the Time Out of Mind, the engineer with Lanois for all those years.
Wow.
He came and set it up at my house, and we did this amazing trio record. I'm floored how much I love this record.
I can't wait.
So that is in the can, and then there's a half-finished me and Jackie Green record. And there's a record from 2017, but that's a whole different story. I don't know if I'll release that, but that's the idea. And then I might go in and start a follow-up to the record that comes in April, the rock record. Follow-up might start in February or March with that one. We'll see.
Wow. Do it all. Do it all. You know, I've had so much fun chatting with you, but I know you got to run.
Yeah.
We could do this forever.
Bless you,
Do you
Cole.
promise that we'll do this again?
Yes, we will.
Thank y'all so much for sitting and chatting with me and Anders Osborne.